incredible humans. Welcome back. Sorry it's been a hot minute. I have been doing some life shit. And if you listen to the last episode, or the last even few maybe, you kind of know that I had some really big fucking trauma come up. So I have been honestly just like focusing on taking care of myself and having a good time. And unfortunately, that means that I haven't had a ton of time to throw into the podcast. But I'm back now and we're here. Sorry, I'm like fucking sitting like a little gremlin and holding my vape. So if there's background noise, sorry. Also, yeah, if it sounds weird, I'm sorry for that as well. I'm trying out a new recording software. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. I know that my last one was kind of long. I have so much that I want to say because I haven't made a podcast in 2 weeks. But it's all kind of heavy and I want to split it up properly. And I'm recording this Sunday before I'm posting it. So I wanted to just give like a general update and make this one a little bit lighter. There's lots more information coming. And I will be continuing to post weekly. I think I'm going to stick to Tuesdays for now, but at some point that might change just because I feel like posting on Tuesdays makes it kind of hard for me. I would rather post, I think, maybe like going into a Monday so that I have all of Sunday to record, but I need to get myself into a fucking routine first. So Tuesdays for now. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to give you guys like a proper update on what was going on. All of this trauma kind of came up as I was in the middle of rebranding, so that all kind of got put on the back burner while I was prioritizing the information I felt like I needed while I was getting through all of it and like taking care of myself. I have made some decisions. I don't ever post on my own Facebook, and it is a very large majority just my family or work people, and I don't necessarily think that any of this is information that my Facebook needs to have, so I'm going to keep the Facebook page. It's currently still under Raising My Voice, but I'm going to change it to just Mads, and I will continue to post on there as I have been. Otherwise, everything else will be switching over to @MadsKowalchuk, and I'm going to make a post at some point, probably before I release this, linking you to my page from the Raising My Voice socials. Again, sorry it's taken me such a hot minute to finish all of this. I had really good intentions and I was really excited, and I had a lot of projects that I was really excited to work on and to share. And then this trauma came up, and it came up in a way that it hasn't before. Because when I kind of went through it the first time, I had to repress it a lot. And then when it started coming up again, I like wanted an opportunity for justice. And that's kind of how my feelings surrounding this were in the beginning. And then I like hit a wall so fucking fast in the process that the general feeling has just been helplessness for like years at this point. So realizing that I had like an actual opportunity for justice made it really hard for me to not explore every fucking avenue. Honestly, probably looking for another wall in which like I wouldn't be able to achieve justice through the system, because that's just like what my brain expects from the situation now, which is really fucked up. But I did do a lot of research, and because I was doing a lot of research, I also was having all of these thoughts come to like the forefront of my brain, and I was reliving everything, and I was like gathering evidence and figuring out what all I have experienced that like ties back to the trauma itself. And I've been trying really hard to find like figures for settlements that are applicable, and it's hard. It's all really hard, and it's taken a lot of shit. But if you follow me on my own Instagram already, hopefully you saw the post that I made last week. And that was, I use an app called Dailyo to track my mood every day. And I wish that I was a little bit better at like selecting the factors and everything, but I have recorded at least a mood. every day. I think that I'm at 800 days now, which has been cool because I feel like my evolution of which days I just select based on having just like a regular day have changed. For a really long time, my like baseline was meh. It was just like in the middle. It wasn't good. It wasn't bad. It was just meh. And that is kind of what I clicked for like a good chunk of these days. And then that kind of switched, I think, honestly, around the beginning of the year to my baseline is kind of just good days. And then I was looking over all of my Dailyo stats, and I, in May, managed to have not a single bad day. Not a single bad day. I think that there were like one or two meh days, but not a single bad day. And my rad days versus just my good days were also way higher. I had way more rad days in the month of May than anything else. And that's super fucking cool. But I do think that it's so important to note that, like, I managed to pull that off while being super fucking triggered. And I think that that speaks volumes for the amount that I'm able to, like, take care of myself and prioritize my well-being now. Because normally, even just, like, the thoughts of this trauma, it was the anniversary of it in February. And I think that that even, like, debilitated me compared to this time around. And maybe it's because I have like a feeling of justice and because I keep getting confirmation that this is like actually something that I can do, and it's cool. It's all very cool. I'm vibing. It's taken a lot of work though. I haven't been pushing myself as hard to do other things because this has been kind of at the forefront of everything. And I like wanted to kind of get a good idea of what the fuck I was doing and what the process was going to be like and figure all of that out. So I have just dropped all of my other projects. Like I haven't been doing podcast stuff. I haven't been working on my like umbrella company at all. I'm starting to get back into like art a little bit. I have quite a few art projects that I want to do, so it's been kind of helpful and definitely I think more relaxing for me than anything to be able to like create again. I don't think that I have mentioned this, but I have been looking into getting a tattoo gun and practicing a fuck ton, and then probably finding like a small tattoos course and then maybe just like building up my skills. And then eventually just like tattooing people. And I don't know if that's ever going to be like a full-time thing. And I don't know if that's ever going to be like huge fucking custom pieces, but I would really like to be able to do small stuff, specifically on me and my friends. And like if I can make some money off of that hobby, fucking even better. I've always really wanted to be a tattoo artist, and I've always just like assumed that I don't have the skill, and that's bullshit because like people aren't just born with the skill to be tattoo artists. They need to fucking practice. That's how it works. And that's something that my brain likes to do a lot, where I'm like, I'm not good at this. I'm just gonna stop because people are way better. And like people are way better because they do it consistently. That's what happens when you're consistent, is you gain skills. So that's something that I'm trying to remind myself of. And it's pretty cool actually to be able to like go through all of my old art books and like look at previous stuff and just appreciate it and see how it's shaped the art that I create now. And it's been really cool. I'm really enjoying art stuff. I'm going to focus a little bit more on creating because that has kind of slipped. And not in like a I haven't been creating at all way, but in the fact that like I have been creating projects and like much larger scale life things and not necessarily art. So I'm trying to do more art shit. And I'm having a good time. Everything's been a lot of fun. I do want to tell you guys about just all of the cool ass shit I've been doing with my pals lately. We It's been kind of overwhelming for me because I need my 2 days at home on the weekend to like recalibrate and clean and everything. And I haven't had those the last few weeks. And I think that that's been what's really fucking me up. But it's been fucking me up for good reasons. And like I made the decision prior to going into all of this that like me having fun in my lifetime is probably worth me like being a little behind on some shit. I did a garage sale with mom and dad a few weeks ago. And then most of the stuff that I didn't sell there, I like brought back with me. And then me and Mick did a garage sale at her place 2 weekends ago. It was kind of a shit show because we weren't prepared. We like have never done a garage sale before as just like two humans that I don't know. I don't feel like we're adults, honestly. So a lot of it was fucking around and finding out, and we have so much information for next time. But it was fun. It was a lot of fun to just like be outside and hang out with my pals and like chat with people, and we sold some shit and it was good. But that did take up my whole long weekend, which was totally fine. That was my plan. But my whole long weekend. So I came back home after the long weekend, kind of exhausted, and I like hadn't taken care of my surroundings the way that I like to prepare myself for the week. So I feel like I was already a little bit scatterbrained when I came home. And then I had a super short week. I had the Monday off for the long weekend. And then Thursday was Mick's birthday. So I ended up going back into town to celebrate and like have drinks. And I got home really late on Thursday night. And then I worked Friday. And then after work on Friday, I came home and I double checked all of the shit that I had packed and played with my Kit Kat for a little bit. And then I drove to Mick. And then me and Mick drove to Regina, where we stayed for the night. I stayed at Bruce. She stayed with Janelle. And then I picked those cuties up at 6 a.m. and we drove to Calgary. And like the trip was fucking incredible. I had an absolute blast. I loved spending the weekend with the girls. We did so many cool things and we ate just like incredible food and like had really great interactions with people. And it was all just fucking lovely. 10 out of 10 time, we met up with one of the girlies down there for the weekend. Our Airbnb was really cute. We went out for supper at this really cute place, and then we ended up going to a hookah lounge and then back home. And then Sunday, we went to Banff for the day. Janelle has never seen mountains, so she drove us all the way there, and like it was so wholesome to just experience mountains with her. And we explored Banff. We went on like a good hike. Definitely hiked up an area that we should not have and didn't realize it until afterwards. But that's fine. We didn't die. Everything's cool. And then we ended up going out again for supper on Sunday once we got back into Calgary. And then we went home, had a good sleep, woke up nice and early the next day to go for like breakfast before we left, and then headed back. I didn't get home on Monday until like 10. And I left my house on Friday at like 6:30. So my whole weekend, that was my whole weekend. And like for the best reasons, and I had the best time, but I have not been giving myself the time that I need. So that's why there haven't been podcast episodes. I'm hoping that going forward, I am able to kind of keep my shit organized enough to like have episodes pre-recorded, or at least fucking let you guys know. I'm gonna get everything switched over, so I'll be able to give you guys actual updates. So watch out for those. Check out the socials if you haven't done so already. I love you guys. Thank you for being patient with me. This is maybe one of my favorite things that I've ever done. And sometimes it doesn't seem that cool to me. Just because, like, honestly, I'm sitting in my fucking living room talking to a wall right now. And like I haven't been able to have any of my pals on. And I feel like when I started the podcast, I wanted to talk about these like huge issues, and I wanted all of these episodes to be so beneficial. But that's kind of unrealistic and too much to expect of myself. This is just my podcast. This is just me being me and like taking you guys through life, and that's all it needs to be. So I'm working really hard on acknowledging the like cool ass shit that I'm doing. I was able to talk to a few people about the podcast while I was in Calgary, and everybody thinks that it's just so fucking cool. And like it is. This is neat as fuck. And I have put so much time and energy into this, and I have such a solid understanding of like what I'm doing and how shit works. And like it's all been so much. And the fact that I've done all of this in less than 6 months is kind of fucking incredible. Like all of it's really cool. And I need to stop discounting myself because like I'm cool and people think that I'm cool and like want to hang out with me and know that I have value and want to celebrate that. And that's something that I've been focusing on a lot lately. Because honestly, for a very large part of my life, I have felt unvaluable. And like that comes a lot from the shitty narrative that I have developed just from the shitty things that people have said to me. And that started a lot in my fucking childhood. And whether that was like people actively saying shitty things to me or just like saying enough around me as a kid that I was like super, super aware that it was not either of my parents' choice to have a child, and that like honestly they'd probably be living much cooler lives had they not had me. And that really fucks up your value, you know? And your like inherent sense of worth. So that's been really fucked up my whole life. It's been really hard for me to just see myself as like a valuable, worthy human that just has worth because I exist. And that's what I am. And that's what you are too. That's literally what humans are. You exist and therefore you have value. And it's really fucked up that I went that long in my life just under the impression that there were so many things about me that just like detracted from my value to the point that I had none. Don't make people feel like that. Just as a side note, if you like interact with me, I'm a little anxiety bean, but if you interact with me on like any sort of basis, you know that I genuinely do my absolute fucking best to make people feel valued and loved and seen and just like celebrated. And that's just my baseline. That's kind of how I like to approach the people in my life because, hey man, I wish that someone had done that for me for a really long time. And like that's a trauma response. I probably shouldn't do that, but also I have cool ass humans and I love being able to celebrate them. And I love that I have found cool ass humans that also love celebrating me. That's a really huge thing is like I could not pour into my people the way that I do if they didn't in turn pour into me. That's just not something that I'd have the ability to do. I want to talk about my pals just like a little bit. Because they're fucking cool. And a huge reason as to why I am, like, thriving the way that I am currently. Bree is just, like, always around. And I am so fucking thankful for their consistency and their love and support. And, like, honestly, it's just there so often that I think that I take it for granted at this point. Which is kind of fucked up, but like they've been consistent for so long that just like doesn't seem like this monumental thing in my brain anymore. It's just like it's Bree and Bree's my best friend and like that's just this is how we are. There have been a couple really cute things that I don't know, just hit me right in my little heart lately. One of them being they are going on this huge organization kick in their life and coming up with all of these systems. And they just sent me like a screenshot of their updated note organization. And in their updated note organization, there's just a note titled Things for Maddie to Cross Stitch. And I forgot that this list existed. They've had it for so long enough that one of the things on the list is unfortunately heterosexual, and we have both been queer humans for 3 years. So, like, it's been a while. But something about remembering the fact that Brie just has a list of art projects for me to do one day. I don't even know if I have a proper list of just like art projects for me to do one day. And it made my little heart just so happy. Remembering how much they fucking support and love and encourage me and my art. Because like, I feel like a lot of people see me. I feel like I don't necessarily share my art in the way that I would like to. And so that can feel a lot of the times like people don't just like fucking love and support it. And that's false. When I share my art with people, I get incredible reactions. And it was really cool to just remember that like this human, man, just wants me to like create cool art shit. Another very sweet thing was on Friday we were talking. And I hadn't recorded a podcast episode yet. And I had started, and then like my power started to flicker, and it was a whole shit show. And I was really frustrated because I just I wanted to get content out because I haven't in so long, and I just wanted to do shit. And this incredible little human told me that they were also planning on doing things yesterday. So if I wanted, they told me that they were willing to like sit on a phone call with me, silent on my end, so that I could record my podcast and use them to body double to get shit done. And that Brie was just going to turn up their volume so that they could hear my podcast, and I was just going to turn it down so they couldn't be picked up. And they were just going to sit on the phone with me with headphones in while they were doing shit in their house, listening to my podcast while I was recording it. And like, wow, that's maybe one of the sweetest offers that they have ever made me. And I just love my humans so fucking much. I made a mushy post on my Instagram, and I did kind of touch on the art thing with Brie. I also posted a screenshot from my pal Ben that just like sent me a fucking rainbow, and it was beautiful, and told me that he thought that I needed to see it and that I was beautiful and bright. And like, I loved all of that. It made my heart so fucking happy. Like, my little heart just can't handle all of the pure fucking joy that I'm receiving from my humans. I can't do it. It's too much in the best of ways, but it's so much. I talk about Mick, and particularly the love that I receive from her quite often, I feel. But being on this trip, I don't know, has made me like even more appreciative. The whole fucking trip was incredible, and I don't want to get too far into it, but last year on her birthday, we were both with our ex-boyfriends, and it like wasn't a great birthday. She didn't end up doing much, and it was kind of a rough time. And so this year, I wanted to make sure that she was celebrated. And she was, and it was incredible. I feel like the whole time, particularly before we left, she was like, I don't want this trip to be about me. I want it to be like a girls' weekend, and I want it to just be us having fun. And I feel like both me and Janelle were like, bro, shut the fuck up. It's your birthday. Let us celebrate you. And I don't think that she was super comfortable with us just like constantly celebrating her, because I don't know that that's something that like people do. But I had a fucking blast just like celebrating the fuck out of one of my favorite humans. And I know that she had a good time, and I know that she was really thankful, and it was incredible. It was so fun to celebrate one of my humans that I know does the exact same thing for me. On our drive home, we had like a 2-hour drive back, just the two of us. And at some point, I was talking to her about like how free I had felt in Calgary and how at ease And this adorable little human just turned to me and goes, I feel like you were fully you in Calgary. And it was so nice to see all of you. And I'm like, I'm going to cry talking about it. I've for sure mentioned somewhere on this podcast before my like attachment issues and my codependent issues. And like literally all of it just boils down to me having this deep fucking desire to be seen by people. And like, I don't know if that's something that I've even fully vocalized to Mick, but having her just like acknowledge and validate and like recognize me was fucking crazy. Man, I just love my humans so much. I just have such good fucking people. And that's just, man, those are just like the top 3 that have done like pretty over the top things that have filled my heart with a lot of love. That's not discounting all of the other just amazing fucking people that I have in my life and that I interact with and that I love and fucking appreciate, including all of you listening. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it more than you'll probably ever know. Honestly, it's pretty fucking crazy that I just get to say things and that people listen. And like, I hope that it doesn't come off as me not fully fucking enjoying what I'm doing when I'm not able to get content out, because I fucking live for this. I have the best time and I'm so thankful that I get to do it. I'm checking my downloads to see what we're at as I'm on the podcast. And that's how we're going to end it off. So with me, we're at 168. And that's fucking crazy. It's crazy that any part of my podcast has been downloaded 168 times. That's fucking wild. But super, super cool. And I feel like I am hoping to hit over 200 by the end of June. I don't think that that's unreasonable, especially if I'm posting every week as I should be. Yeah, so I'll let you know how that goal goes. I'll do something. I don't know what, but like I'll do something because that's fucking crazy. 200 is a lot. This has been just me rambling, but that's okay because I haven't chatted with you guys in a while. I will be trying my absolute best. I'm such a little shithead and I'm like anxious about posting all of this on my own social media because I have social anxiety and like it just opens it up to people literally of any form listening to this. And that's fine. I mean, like, it's just me fucking talking. I don't know why I'm so terrified of people listening to this, and it's because I'm, like, vulnerable here. But it really is just me chatting about the same shit that I would chat with literally fucking anybody about. So I'm gonna do my best to, like, post a little bit more and be a little bit more consistent with my episodes and let you guys know if something isn't going to be out and about. Facebook is going to change over to just Mads. I feel like I am going to maybe change my YouTube over to just Mads as well. Other than that, TikTok and Instagram are both at Mads Kowalchuk. I would like to have a website set up soon, but that's kind of been on the back burner with everything else. So for now, just, yeah, updated pages, hanging out. I think shit's gonna get a little bit more political next week because I have a lot to say on that topic, but just be prepared. Just be prepared for politics. Also, happy fucking Pride. I'm so sorry that I haven't said that earlier. I hope gay. I don't know. I don't know, I'm so fucking awkward today. I hope that you're having just the best little queer fucking time. And if you're not queer, I hope that you're being the most incredible fucking ally to the queers in your life. And I hope that everyone's safe and flourishing. And I love you so fucking much. I will talk to you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening.